Japan, something's going to happen because Tiger is in town. Tiger is in Tokyo, and something's going to happen. And people are going to see the blood all over the place. Not Tiger's blood, my opponent's blood. Because I'm going to bust him up, and I will put him in the hospital.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of the master! Hideo!
Oh, my name is Tiger Jeet Singh. You know that?
来いと呼んでもいいのでしょうか? Now, just begin!
Cut down all the way going through the step. We're heading to the hotel, huh? Very close. Isha, where are we going?
I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me? अब आप भी जवाब लगे अब आप भी आए हैं? संगीत तो कितने? Happy birthday. Oh my God. That's unbelievable. See you, baby. So see you. You can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Jeet Singh Hans came to Canada when he was 17 years old. His father was an army officer in India, and his mother, a traditional homemaker who wanted her kids to realize the Canadian dream.
My father wanted to send me to school, and I don't want to go to school because I couldn't understand a word of English. So I used to go to school and run away from the school, And I'm joining the gym, lifting weights, then I come back with the school finished, I come home. And I became very strong, And one day I'm just looking at the TV, and I see this professional wrestling, which I haven't seen on TV anywhere else, When I see this thing, I said, if these guys can do that, why can't I do it, Just like that.
With only wrestling on his mind, Jeet left Vancouver for brighter lights and bigger dreams.
My elder brother, he was in Toronto. So I came to Toronto, and I was introduced to Frank Tunney, who was the boss of Maple Leaf Wrestling. I walk in there with my pug, kurta, chadra, and jutti. I was just unique, something different, which people haven't seen anything like that, So he was impressed by my physique and by the uniform. I said, I want to be a wrestler. He said, you want to be a wrestler? I said, yeah. Do you know anything about wrestling? I said, I don't know this, but on the TV I see it. I think I can beat those guys. He said, maybe, see, the businessman always have idea. Maybe he can make something out of that. And they just picked me up like that.
Having a turbaned wrestler show up was a bit unique. There weren't a lot of places you could have gotten away with this in North America, and Toronto being a bit more of a multicultural city, even back in the 60s. The possibilities were there, and Frank Tunney, as the promoter, certainly realized that, hey, here's somebody unique, somebody different. He saw potential in drawing a different crowd to his matches.
And from there he introduced me to this coach from Australia, Fred Atkins. He was a legend in the wrestling field.
Fred Atkins was not a guy who trained a lot of wrestlers. He was very selective in who he chose, and then he dedicated time to them.
He was known as a hard rock. He was very tough on the face, but very soft heart, you know. Not too many people can get along with this guy. So he took me to the Crystal Beach near Fort Erie. So that's where my headquarters was, you know. He put me with the old lady there. She was 60-year-old. Just one room, one garage. And then they put my bed there. So I started training with Fred.
And there's stories of, you know, Fred running up and down the beach with Tiger on his back, and then later making Tiger do the same thing. I mean, it's all about building up a guy to the point that you can keep up the endurance in the wrestling ring.
He was such a hard trainer, you know, and I could not take the punishment. I ran away from there. I came to Toronto with my brother again, and Fred came again. He said, why? I said, well, you're too hard on me, you know, you're pushing me too hard, you know. He said, well, you know, one thing I want to ask you. I still remember that thing, you know. You want to be a bum or you want to be a champion? I said, I want to be a champion, you know.
Tiger Jeet Singh is in Japan for an important fight. He is the secret weapon in the ongoing battle between Japan's two main wrestling rivals, the Hustle faction and the Monster faction. In 2 days, he will go up against 36-year-old Naoya Ogawa, leader of the Hustle faction. And a little pre-fight publicity can't hurt.
Who's the number one? Baba, you should be ready for Tiger. Tiger is coming to destroy you. I'm going to put Ogawa down. I want good fight, and I want to satisfy myself. I'm thirsty for Ogawa's blood now.
Okay.
Yes.
First time in Ogawa-san life, he will feel real pain from Tiger Jeet Singh. Okay. So win, lose, no matter. But tomorrow, Ogawa-san blood, much, many blood coming.
Very dangerous fight. If you can't see the blood, don't go. So Fred Atkins put me in my first match, I remember, with Johnny Valentine. He was a U.S. champion. So Fred told me, he said, Tiger, one thing, he said, don't give anybody a second chance. If somebody turned his back on you, attack. So finally, the time came, and we went in the ring, put my hand out to shake his hand. He spit on my hand, you know. So sooner he turned his back on me, his wife was sitting in the audience too, you know. I just pick him up from the back, take him straight in the corner post, you know. That was steel post. He had 32 stitches, bust up his head, blood was all over the place. That was the shortest match Maple Leaf Gardens history, you know. And I got the championship belt, the first match. And his wife, she fainted there. And it was unbelievable, you know. I mean, it was a riot. And they carried me in the ambulance. And that was it. My name became that this is a real Tiger, the real killer, you know. That was the first match. After that, I started getting more vicious every day. Because, you know, this training makes you vicious, you know.
It was a really big deal for Tiger beating Johnny Valentine for the U.S. title. And that certainly brought him up a whole notch in the eyes of the fans. And so all of a sudden your U.S. champion gets a chance to be considered for world title shots, and everything you do from that point on gives you a little bit more legitimacy in the fans' eyes.
After that, I was the peak, you know. I was the main event all over. I had so many matches at Maple Leaf Gardens. I mean, you name it, I wrestled. I was the #1 man at the Maple Leaf Gardens.
Tiger Jeet Singh has his work cut out for him. All-Star Wrestling is bringing in nothing but competition. People who want Tiger's belt.